feel like with fear, or like with paranoia comes fear.
Okay. Do you have any fears?
Yeah, what are your fears, Manny?
Ghosts.
So I can exploit them.
Ghosts. Nothing gets me more rattled than something I can't see.
I don't believe in ghosts, so.
So does the dark scare you too?
I can go on and on. The dark used to scare me.
But like, if you can't like ghosts, you say you don't like because you can't see them.
Because
so,
just
does
something
the
that
dark
can like
scare you?
it can
You
like
can't see.
can interact with like things that in our world that we can see, but like you can't do anything about it. Like I've had like very like real things happen in my house. That just like
No, you say you don't believe in ghosts?
No.
Well, you are wrong.
yeah,
Okay.
you can never be more wrong than that.
Okay. I'm not going to defend myself at the moment because I don't believe that's topical. But and I'm not prepared to be attacked. I didn't come prepared with armor. I was already attacked for eating cereal without milk, so
That's true. You know what?
I'm gonna leave the attack counter.
Once per like 4 episodes.
Yeah.
So next episode, the counter's done. We'll attack you again.
Yeah, the attack counter is like
I'll just start.
probably at 3.
We're just gonna start the podcast, and
I'm gonna like do the intro
and then we're saying,
like
so you don't like ghosts, huh?
You don't think ghosts are real, huh?
I hear you're filthy casual too.
And I'm gonna be like, I agreed with like the podcast theme and all that. Like, yeah, we're definitely gonna do that. But I know deep down, I'm just gonna mention ghosts as soon as we get through the intro, just so everyone knows.
So Manny, it's ghosts that scare you the most.
No, so like I have plenty of stories in my
You're
house.
gonna
Some
boast
things
about
that
your
were like
ghosts?
actual like paranormal shit that you would see like on television or something, and some things were just like stupid stuff. Like when AIM was a thing, my sister had like a notification that like whenever one of her friends would message her, a baby would laugh.
What?
Why?
It was the most terrifying thing I've ever experienced in my life. And this was like when I was like still maybe like middle school, and so my parents would be
Was
at
that a
work. I'd be home
customization
alone.
option?
I guess so. I don't know what it
Why would
was.
you
How do you
do
think
that?
they recorded that baby's laughter?
That baby probably isn't living right
They
now.
Oh my god.
Let's just say that baby's not a baby anymore because they grew
It
up
grew
into a
up.
toddler.
A
Maybe they used a
successful
baby
life.
alive.
It would probably only
And now
be
I'm
like
stock in Microsoft.
it's probably like now it's just Microsoft.
Although when was AIM? Like,
That's what I'm saying. Like this was like my middle school time.
oh okay,
Like,
so
I
it's
was-
probably still like
Probably like 7.
7. I don't know about that.
They
Maybe
probably
like
have the
10 or
voice recorded for a while though. That's the thing.
Yeah, it could have just been.
Like baby alives are
You
creepy.
probably just
My
strung it
cousin
up
has
in
a
a
baby
basement
alive.
and
That's
tickled
just,
it with feathers.
You
and
could
then they
just
left
use a
it in the
robot baby. But where
I
would they
hope
get that
that's true.
robot baby's voice?
Just because
Exactly.
there are worse possibilities.
Yeah, especially with the government filled with.
Okay. Anyway, Manny, do you want to share one of your stories?
I was gonna share this story, but it's not really a ghost. But it was terrifying. Because I was home alone. This was like early middle school, and my dog was in my lap, and I was just watching TV, and then all of a sudden, and so like, I get up. My dog is like looking around now, and she kind of like her hair like starts to stick up a little bit. I'm like, oh shit, because dogs see stuff.
Lola, tell me your secret.
And so I like look outside, and I see nobody. I'm like, all right, I get her. Like she like kind of like get her back on my lap, kind of like pet her down, make sure she's nice and calm and everything. Continue watching TV. I forget what I was watching. And then it goes again, and then my dog gets up and she starts walking around because like she just hears the noise or whatever. And this time I like open the door, kind of look around outside because it sounded like right outside the house, like it like was just like. And I go back, and it happened a third time. I was like, oh, no. I grab my dog, I grab a phone, and I run outside the house. And I start making phone calls, and nobody was answering me. And, like, I was like, oh, my God. And my sister's phone, like, went straight to voicemail. I was like, oh, my God.
She's dead.
And, like,
They got the Navy.
I'm freaking out sitting on the, like, I'm sitting...
What is that a
They got
reference
the Navy.
Oh, it's a
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob.
Oh, SpongeBob, yeah.
They got the Navy. Call the army. Hello, operator. They got the army.
That's the butterfly episode.
No.
Was it not?
Oh,
No, it was when they thought everyone was a robot.
Yeah.
So they called the military
Oh,
to
okay, yeah.
like stop the robots, but it went to a operating machine, which is a robot.
Yeah.
So they're like, they're in the Navy.
not the Navy.
But yeah, that sounds like a spooky story.
But yeah, that one was nothing.
Yeah.
There's
Oh,
other stuff that's like...
wait, if there's other stuff, share it. You don't need to hold
there's
back.
there's times where like I used to sleepwalk a lot too, and like this stuff I don't really remember too much, but like my mom would like come home or something at night, and I'd be like sleepwalking in my room, and she would say, I'll be like saying like, oh, they're there or something, like all these like weird things, and like I remember like seeing like a doll or whatever, like just walking around the house, and I was like freaking out. But like, my mom would say I would always see people and everything like that. It was really weird. And there was
Wait, you
one
saw
time,
a doll?
I saw a lot of stuff, dude. I was
Like, is this you sleep?
I was like half sleepwalking and like half awake.
Okay, we're
was
not gonna
weird.
acknowledge.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
one.
But then like there's one where my sister said she woke up the next day and she like told me, she's like, were you running around the living room?
What?
Like in the morning, like it was like in the middle of the night when like everyone was sleeping. I'm like, no, I was sleeping like a normal person. Mom, what were you doing? And she's like, she heard somebody. It sounded like running around the living room. She said when she called my name, it stopped. And I'm like, don't you tell me.
But what if it was you sleeping while?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just probably.
That's why I asked her.
And it
did you
stopped when you got
It's-
called because you kind of like woke up a little.
But she said she didn't hear anything after that. Like she didn't hear anybody like walking
Oh, wow.
away. Yeah. And like my mom has a lot of ones where it's like she came home one day from work and we have this thing up in the attic with the batteries out now and everything. It was like a little like robot toy rabbit that would sing like raindrops fall on my head. And it's like it was on top of like a high shelf, like where you need a chair to reach up to, like even for myself. And she got home one day
Manny's really
and it was
tall.
just going off. And she said it was like singing or whatever. And like the thing was like turned on. She was like, who the hell turned it on? She like went and turned it off. And she said she went back to the kitchen and like turned on again. No. Like what even happens? Well, how do you explain that?
All
I
right.
don't know. Any experience I've had like that has always resulted in like, oh, afterward I find out like what it was.
Yeah.
Like a door slams upstairs, but like I'm like freaking out, but like then I go upstairs and the window was just open and you know it was just the wind.
The most recent one, which I don't want to get into a sad note or anything, but this was like years ago when like my grandfather passed away, like maybe a couple months after, my dog all of a sudden like from the like in a deep sleep in the living room and my mom and I were in the kitchen, just runs over barking, like hair up on her back and growling, runs into my brother's room and like barking at a picture of my brother, and it was like kind of crooked too. And then my mom is like, just stay calm, like freaking. I'm like, what the hell's going on? I'm like, just stop barking. And my mom's like, go upstairs and get the holy water. And she's like, I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, holy water.
That escalated very quickly.
And she said, don't freak out, stay calm. What do you mean don't freak out? What is gonna happen? And so like I sprint up the stairs and like I trip along the way and everything. I'm like just boom, 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 like running. And I'm sweating. It's like winter time. I'm sweating.
That's one like. Because personally, like, I can't really explain it, but, like, I feel there's a difference between ghosts and spirits, and I'm more willing to accept the existence of spirits.
What would you say the difference is, though?
Because the spirit does not necessarily have to be a human.
But a ghost is just like...
A ghost is only like a dead human, I think.
So what would
In definition. A spirit is not necessarily that.
Like the Holy Spirit, that's the spirit I believe in.
Okay.
As a good Christian boy.
All right. But what would the ghost / spirit in my basement, the Chinese man that lives underneath us right now, is that a ghost or a
What are you
spirit?
talking about?
You remember how like when I told you guys this, but when I was a little kid, my uncle used to joke around with me and my sister that there was a Chinese man who lived in the basement and he would hang out with my uncle, and that Chinese man was dead like 20 years ago. So like as a kid I was terrified to go to the basement.
That sounds like something that's said to, like,
Yeah.
scare you. Like, not...
Yeah.
So for me personally, that paranoia of like spirits and stuff kind of still exists, because whenever I come down from the basement upstairs, if I come by alone, I like kind of like kick out and like punch when I get up the stairs.
I just don't mess with any of that stuff. My sister and I, like, last year...
But
went
so,
to Toys
wait.
R Us.
So that was the extent of your Chinese ghost?
Yeah. The remnant is that I still like, I don't believe like that's all fakeness. Like my uncle was obviously like lying about that, and that's something you tell a little kid. But like the remnant
So it was
is
not
that
a spirit nor a ghost. That's what I would label it as. It was a fictional story told by his uncle.
but
Thank
like
you for that clarification.
Okay,
Yeah.
this is not just for me, it's for those people.
there's no people in that mic.
Those
I see people.
people.
So like the remnant is that when I come upstairs, like from downstairs by myself, I still like kind of kick and punch.
Yeah,
And then I go to my room.
Yeah, that's what I do in the dark. I just walk around kicking and punching just in case.
Just in case.
The best way to combat a Holy Spirit is by getting naked, covering yourself in salt and holy water. And
Wait, a Holy Spirit? Why are you trying to come?
Did I
You
say
should
Holy
welcome
Spirit?
that.
Did I say Holy Spirit?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you said
should
Holy
welcome
Spirit.
that.
No, the only way to
You should put
combat
out
a
milk and
spirit.
cookies for that.
See,
a
we don't.
spirit. No, that's Santa.
What are you talking about?
In Hinduism, we don't have quote unquote holy spirits.
Yeah, because you're not Jesus.
I am not Jesus.
And you ain't about that boy.
You ain't about that boy.
I am certainly not Jesus.
I just
never
don't mess with
claimed to
ghostly
be.
things.
It is getting hot in
I was at
here.
Toys R Us with my sister like a year or two ago to get like my little cousin like a doll for her
Can't do that
birthday.
no more.
All right.
We were in the doll section and all of a sudden like one in the very back of like the rows just goes off and starts like doing its thing and like I need to go potty.
That happens all the time.
And I was just like no. I like pushed my sister
I
up
think
like
you're
I'm getting
too
out of
afraid.
here.
I think you're too afraid of ghosts now, and everything that you
Yeah.
can't immediately explain as a ghost. That's not right. Because
Manny,
I do
your
believe in ghosts.
Your fears are wrong.
Your opinion on ghosts is wrong. They're
That is clear though.
No,
I'm sorry.
your opinion is wrong. Manny is too wrong. Like he's not quite right. I'm the right one here.
And I just exist.
You're just there. You're like neutral.
You're just hanging out with your old Chinese guy.
Hey,
you
man.
you chill with the Chinese guy.
Mr. Zhang is a perfect conversationalist.
You named him?
That was his name. That was the name my uncle gave him. I'm pretty sure it's Zhang.
Zang.
It might have been Lee. I don't know.
So in this context, if that was
An
if
actual
you want to
guy,
know if it was an actual thing,
Yeah.
I would label that a ghost.
not a spirit.
No.
Uh,
Though you could probably say I think it's because ghosts are considered spirits,
if they're
but not all
friendly.
spirits are ghosts.
Where's the friendliness? Because like Casper, he was a friendly ghost. Can you have friendly spirits?
Yes. But there's also a lot of unfriendly spirits. Like elves in Iceland, those could be friendly.
Elves.
I thought there were fairies.
Also fairies. There's fairies and elves.
The video is Icelandic fairies.
But there's also elves. And sea monsters and UFOs.
I thought Nessie was a dinosaur.
I think it's all just if you want to get my worldview, it's kind of crazy, and I don't know if it's true or not. That's sort of the lens I like to perceive the world through. It's just that there's a lot of different extra dimensional things, like like there's all like dimensions and
Timelines.
not timelines,
Well,
dimensions.
yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, timelines.
They're
I suppose.
different. But
Yeah.
We have
But,
a dimension
um,
where everyone's a telepath and no one knows. Like,
I
and you don't know.
Maybe I think that's like more of the multidimensional theory, where it's like there's technically anything
But
you
how
could
would
think
you
of.
Scientifically, I don't know. We won't get.
It's
into
just because
that.
you watched Doctor Strange recently,
No,
right?
I've never watched
You've never seen
Doctor
that?
What?
Strange. Oh wait,
Yeah,
Yeah, what are you talking
You're
about? I've
thinking
been
Doctor
raving
Who.
about that for the past
No,
week.
my brain connected to Doctor Who. I was like, I don't watch Doctor Who. No, that's like I feel like Doctor Strange is I don't even know what to think of it. I'm trying to remember anything it talks about. It's not.
It's a
really,
wild movie.
Yeah.
It's a wild movie, but it's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, the
Chakras.
multi-dimensional.
Yeah, I think.
like,
Yeah,
view
yeah.
of,
I
like,
can see.
there being like always like possibilities or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's the reference.
Well,
I
you
was
see,
making.
like did you watch Avengers? Is that like what
Yeah.
you're referring to? I think what he
I don't know if we
did
should bring up
wasn't.
so much movie stuff.
I don't think he was
in this.
looking at dimensions. I think he was looking at the future, which was something different.
Oh, okay.
He did something called divination, whereas what I'm referring to is not looking in the future. I'm talking about like things happening well, you see, like when you look at dimensions, it's sort of like outside of time, so it's like weird like that. But the point being that there are these like other spirits, something that we call spirits, and aliens and all these things that are not necessarily that. It's not the it's like aliens are not necessarily beings from another planet, but they might just be something from a different dimension that's advanced enough to come here. And then like things like elves and shit, like that's probably like
We all know the aliens are underwater, so
I
You
mean,
think so?
That's a Paranoia.
Artemis
I don't-
Fowl has elves and stuff as high tech like beings.
What does?
Artemis Fowl, like
Artemis
a
Fowl.
book series. I only read the first book, I think.
I haven't read the last one.
I think the elves are more of a. It's more of the what we'd call like a magic.
Okay.
Because I don't think they're using technology as we call it. Like I feel like aliens are more technology based.
You're talking about the difference between sci-fi and fantasy.
No, I'm talking about the difference between aliens and elves.
No, in terms of genre.
No, we're talking about real life right now.
Okay.
I know. You see, it's far fetched.
Why do you laugh at aliens?
I'm not
We've
laughing at aliens.
really gone off topic, so I feel like I should. So, Omi, what are you paranoid of?
Like I said, the like spirits in a sense. I don't know. I think I hit up on a lot of them, like space.
Yeah.
Space really freaked me out as a kid. That's why I wanted to stick to science that was closer to like Earth. That's why I gravitated towards biology. And then I realized biology isn't that fun, so that's why I'm an engineer.
You ever get that thing in class where it's like you have to fart really badly, and you're sitting there and you're like sweating up a storm and everything, and like everyone's just kind of like.
I'm definitely
I
paranoid
think I
of that.
described that during this podcast already, didn't I?
I think like you talk about people thinking like if they can hear your thoughts and whatnot, but I don't know.
And I think I distinctly mentioned having to fart, but continue. So, like, yes, the point being, I definitely understand what you're talking about.
But don't let it out now.
Yeah, I know, man.
Actually, another thing that I was thinking of,
I know
like,
actually.
we talked, like, I mentioned, like, before, like, distances and, like, uncoverable distances, like, light years.
Yeah.
That, like, I'm paranoid of, like,
We
when I
can't
think
do a
about.
light year.
Yeah, but, like, I guess maybe it's the concept of time that, like, I'm also paranoid about, or, like, when I think about it, it just, like, messes with my head. Like, it's hard to explain. Or, like, creationism.
I think I know what you mean. Like think
Like-
just ahead of time.
Like, there are certain things that I think about, and I don't know if it's considered paranoia, but there are certain things that I think about, and they just mess with me, and, like, I have to, like, move on.
Can you explain further what you meant by creationism?
It's
What
like
you-
trying to think about, like, if you were to visualize, like, the creation of the universe, and, like, the events that occurred.
creationism as in evolution, or creationism as in like the biblical creation?
Either one. To, like, think of the events that occurred for the universe to exist.
Oh, okay.
And, like, the thought... Oh, also, like, the thought of, like, something without a container. Like, to think of the universe as, like...
As nothing.
Not as nothing, but as something that's ever expanding, but, like, also... There's no space where it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, the universe is everything.
Yeah.
But, like, there's nothing outside
As
the
we
universe.
believe, as
Yeah,
we
yeah, yeah.
record.
Yeah, it's like to
You're
think of
right,
something
right now.
without size, without, like, you couldn't
Because
put it in
everything
any
is a
container.
container. Everything is a container
Yeah.
that we know.
Yeah, everything that we, like, run into, like, everything has, like, a mass, a size, a density. Like, not everything has all of those, but, like,
Yeah.
they have some features to, like, that make it not infinite.
Yeah.
Like, infinity is just crazy.
And then you look at the universe, and not only does it not seem to have a limit, but it's expanding. And then you stop and ask yourself, well, what about beyond that? Is there a beyond that?
Yeah, it's like this is a loose comparison, but, like, when, like, flat Earth was, like, a popular belief, it just seems so simple to think of, like, the Earth being flat, but, like, I mean, it's not.
Have you ever heard of some of the theories that support flat Earth?
I don't know.
Okay,
I've
I'm just gonna say some of the interesting things about it.
Okay.
Like, for starters, you know, like the one of the rules that associate flat Earth is that technically Antarctica, there aren't poles. It surrounds everything. So, like, there's a map of the Earth. So imagine, like, whatever the flat Earth map of the world is, there's going to be, like, ice surrounding all of us. And so, in theory, to prove whether or not we're in a flat Earth, you'd have to go to the ice, which would entail going to Antarctica. But, like, I think there's, like, if I heard this from, like, a Shane Dawson video that my girlfriend showed me, so I really can't say how true this is, but apparently there's a pact signed by like hundreds of nations saying that no one is allowed. Like you and me could not go to Antarctica. We're not allowed to go. You could go like through like a different entity that's obviously like federally supported, but you can't explore it yourself. You can explore it anywhere yourself but Antarctica, which would in theory be the only place someone could verify that.
Yeah, I think that like touches on something that I talked about earlier, where like you don't like I talked about the like people being in on a secret that you're not in on.
Yeah.
Like people being able to control what you can know.
Yeah.
Is crazy.
But I feel like Antarctica, like if you're going off the world is flat theory, I understand what you're saying. Like if you just roll out the circle map, you would have Antarctica. Like you have the ice caps on like either end. But like each
in this hypothetical, the maps that we have currently, like when you type in map of the world and the first thing that comes up is an accurate map of the world, there's right now quotation marks when I say that, it's not accurate. So you can't go by what you're thinking of a map.
Yeah, there's like a different geography that like I can't picture in my head.
And the reason why you can't, the reason why it's hard to believe is because we've been told to believe that's what it is. But really, it's like we'll never know.
I mean, there's certain things like eclipses and stuff that just don't make sense mathematically.
Oh, to support flat Earth?
To deny flat Earth. There's like celestial bodies and stuff and math that proves that a flat Earth can't exist.
Oh, so
that's
we
what I'm
have
saying.
we have like the first thing that the Apollo missions did was put a panel on the moon where like NASA was able to like laser like to measure
did you
the
know
distance.
that the proof of the initial like moon landing, they don't have it anymore. They
Adam
lost
Ruins
the
Adam Ruins
recordings.
Everything like broke down a lot of like why the Apollo faking the Apollo
Adam
missions
Ruins
wouldn't
Everything
happen.
is a pretentious schmuck, and I'm not saying he's not
But
wrong.
he cites his sources.
But I'm
on
saying
the
he can't.
thing.
He's very pretentious, and I feel like sometimes he might cherry pick his opponent's arguments. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that
It's just the
that
fact
makes
he
him
puts
wrong.
sources
I'm saying
out there.
he is a. I'm not saying that the sources he uses are wrong.
Yeah.
I'm saying sometimes when you like, I feel like Adam's Ruined Everything is someone that supports an argument would use to feel better about their argument. There are things in this world, there are medias in this world that don't exist to convert people. It's meant to reinforce a person of their beliefs. And so when I see that there are certain things that like make me always, it makes me question the other side. How being a flat earther, you are like I'm not a flat earther. I would not. I always try to entertain possibilities, and seeing the vehement turn that has happened to flat earthers for simply entertaining ideas, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's important to.
It's the same thing that happens to people that believe in aliens, and that's like it's like, sure, we don't have anything that proves aliens exist, but it's like before we got to this point of like, you know what, just because I believe it's true, like before this point where it was kind of accepted to believe in aliens, they were criticized and insulted if you believed in aliens, and to a degree, like in the mainstream, if you do publicly go out through that belief, you're going to get attacked. And so when I see that happen so vehemently to flat earthers, it's like, like it's the same.
I think it's also because like it's an internet thing, and like you have a lot of people who are disingenuous.
Yeah.
And like those people just kind of like they completely make a mockery of any debate you're doing. Like that's the thing with like internet things.
You need to get a well-informed flat earther and a well-informed round earther and have them go about it. That should be a feature.
That would be something.
Like have
really,
like one guy or like two, like a debate between two parties where we research each other's points and do it.
Mm-hmm.
And like we have to be like using information really available to elements. You can't just say, well, a scientist has said that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess you could if that's kind of evidence, but like I don't know. It's like when you stop and think about it, this is something that you have to depend on someone else, and to think that the someone else we get that information from is also withholding information, i.e., Antarctica, i.e., the
But
original
Antarctica
moon
is
landing.
like a pact. Like it's like so that no nation will like control that. You know, it's like not a territory.
But why? No, we
anymore.
can't go there. Governments can go there.
No, there are plenty of scientists that are there.
I'm sure, but it's like
Under supervision.
under supervision, probably.
Not like it's Antarctica. The conditions are hostile. You don't. No one just goes, I want to go to Antarctica. It's like.
Well, if I wanted to, I couldn't. That's the
Yeah, I
thing.
mean,
That's
yeah,
the point.
you'd have
That's
to
the
be a
point. Is that
researcher.
it's the limit of.
If you really want to do, you could get to Antarctica. You just have to be in the right field. You have to be like.
Yeah, but he's
No,
saying
researching
it's not
something.
about
But he's saying that
research. It's about going there.
Just to be there.
Physically
There's
going there.
plenty of places that you can't go just to go. Like being in the middle of the Sahara. Like I don't think anyone would allow that because you could die from that.
You could. I think you could.
You could
go.
Just
yeah,
You
no,
could
they'll,
fly
they'll
over-
tell you. They'll tell you it's at your own risk, though.
I
They're
feel,
not gonna
I
say
feel
you
like
cannot
I don't
go.
think it's a no-fly zone.
because Antarctica is its own like this is a separate argument, but Antarctica like to get there requires like outside like sources. You know what I mean? You need to fly. You can't fly over. Actually, I don't know about that. See, that's the thing. I haven't done any looking into Antarctica. But
So you mean like you have to leave your country almost to do it, and you have to like technically join?
no. It's the fact that it's such a hostile area that like it's a safety risk.
Dude, New Haven is this hostile area.
but-
if we want.
But there's a difference between something that's hostile and saying like, oh, it's not recommended to go there, to set to the point where it's like you cannot enter this area. I mean, there's like you're talking about the Sahara Desert. It's like you could go there at your own risk. There's plenty of people that are insane enough to be like, yeah, I'll take you on a quick ride through there, or whatever. Like,
Or just
tour you
walk.
through.
Or
Yeah,
just walk.
I mean,
Right? Or you
there's
just
also
walk
like
through.
national parks and like places that are like protected.
Well,
by
that's
the
protected.
government.
That's
You see, there's a reason.
that's yeah.
But that Antarctica is the same thing. It's protected.
It's
It's
not- I
just
don't- it's
protected
not-
by many nations.
But it's not for like.
What?
It's not like you're talking about national parks and stuff. Like let's like Yellowstone Park, it's protecting like that like wildlife and nature there to like not be like.
So there's no wildlife in Antarctica?
You know, the
There's
limit
wildlife, but
of
it's
our information is killing us.
huh?
The limit of our understanding and knowledge of this situation is limiting.
Yeah.
So I think we should either change subjects and then come back to this another time with information and the time to wallop. Or,
Obviously, I'm in the-
or sort of like put a close to this. 'Cause we
Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of bounced
So-
all over. it.
Yeah, we're like.
So like it kind of started just to like spin it back, just like when I was talking about like that, like the universe and like ever expanding and like not being able to put it in a container. I think it's to sum it up. I think it's just like paranoia of like or fear of infinity, like the
Yeah.
concept of it.
Yeah.
But like I know you plugged Black Mirror earlier. If I could plug Unacknowledged on Netflix,
Oh,
phenomenal.
because what could we know?
It talks about a lot of the stuff that we just talked about, and like the ostracizing of people with a different belief
Yeah.
to like shut it down. But yeah, I think we're all set on this one. I don't know. You guys have any final
Oh,
thoughts?
actually, I have one more thing to say.
Yeah,
I
same.
know it's kind of late. By just making, you know what's scary? Not knowing our purpose. Supposing there's a God and all that, that would and like when we were created by Him, we probably have a purpose.
Yeah.
And so not knowing that purpose is scary.
It's weird.
But
And not
also
being-
scary is not having a God and having this all be an accident.
That's what that's.
And we just existing by accident, and there being no purpose to us. Isn't that
and
also kind of
and
scary?
also no way to prove
either
either
way.
way.
That's what gets my mind rattled sometimes. Is to think where it's like how everything began. Like they say, like, oh, okay, like meteors and stuff collided to create Earth and whatnot. Fair enough, but like, what created those meteorites? But before even after that, let's say Earth was created by those meteors or rocks colliding into each other. What then caused, like?
The Big
I guess you
Bang.
can get the wildlife.
No,
whatever.
what you're describing.
Is I know I understand the
the.
Big Bang, but it's like then what made a person? What made the animals?
There are theories for that.
Yeah,
It's just a
but
lot. It's
there's
heavy
no
science.
eyewitness evidence.
Yeah.
But it's like until one day someone can just create a person out of like
Until
atoms
someone
and whatnot.
can like, if there was a God, find
I can
God
make a person.
and
You just
come
gotta
back.
get me a woman.
Exactly. You need a second you need another human. But it's like until someone could just make somebody out of like thin air and
I
like
mean,
add
You
them
see,
in.
that's not. Yeah.
We're getting.
I understand the Big
genetic
Bang. I understand the
engineering is
Big-
getting us there.
I understand
No,
the
yeah,
Big Bang
like,
theory.
Look, there are theories that support like how life started.
Yeah.
It was
like-
just very,
The
very
primordial
slowly.
amino acids can be made with certain elements that like have existed on our planet. It's
And-
been shown.
On that note,
Wait, let me.
I don't mind Big Bang Theory as a show.
No!
You don't like Big Bang Theory?
Guys, that's the end of the episode.
End this
Come on.
episode. Start the intro, the outro,
No,
whatever
it's
they're calling it
It's
now.
the outro.
It's over,
We have
guys.
to talk.
Thanks
we have
for
to
listening.
talk off of this.
Only we could add your thoughts in the comments or something.
Oh, okay.
Gotta end it here. It's poetry. This is where it ends. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Hope you'll tune in for
Going
the next
home.
episode of the
I'm gone.
Four-Sided Roundtable. Manny, would you just leave already?
I'm leaving.